Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. I will make a motion to approve the June 17th of written. All in favor? Okay. ADA update, as everybody see, the community center is getting paved, so I'm sure Cliff will be all getting striped and the handicap parking identified, so that'll help. Cliff, the rail for the ramps over there.
We're keeping the elbows and we just extend it out.
Okay.
So,
And that's the lengthwise one.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right.
we separate it up like three.
When do you think that'll be done?
Wait for me. Hey,
All right, cool. Thank you. So everybody knows I'm going to deviate from the stated agenda. Something I'd like to address. There seems to be some comment out there surrounding the deputy treasurer clerk position, namely Michelle Day. Michelle is not being paid to be the chair of the playground committee. She is not. I asked her personally if she would chair that committee that was created by the select board and appointed by the select board, because she is the ADA liaison from the town of Brownfield. Okay. The reason the town of Brownfield has an ADA liaison is because we legally have to have it. And she willingly took that responsibility on, including what she's, already filling the position of deputy treasurer, tax collector, clerk, and a slew of other things. So she is not being paid for that. She's graciously giving us her time, just like the rest of the volunteers in this town. It's on her time. It's after hours. She's doing it. She's not getting comp time. She's not being paid for that at all. So I want that to be very clear to all taxpayers. Second, in regards to Michelle Day, she was not fired. She was dismissed for a position that was not created nor funded. If you look back in either July, last week of July, first week of August of last year's selectmen's meeting, it was addressed there what happened and why it happened. So whoever's out there that's thinking that Michelle Day was fired from her job, she was not. So I would greatly appreciate it if people would get their facts straight before they start typing, because that is not the case. She has done a stellar job this time around. So if any taxpayer has a problem with an employee or has accusations against any employee in the town of Brownfield, I'm respectfully requesting that you bring it to me. Don't run your mouth about my employees. The employees of the town work hard, and they do it with a smile on their face, regardless of the attitude that they get, whether coming through the door, out in town, in a store, in a grader, in a dump truck, and they still show up every day and work. They still provide the services. If there's a complaint or a problem with an employee, bring it to me. But don't get online and run your mouth about it. Especially when you don't have the fortitude to ask the questions. I don't have an email. I don't have a text message. I don't have a voicemail. I don't even have face-to-face conversations at all. Now, I can't speak for my colleagues, nor will I. But if the taxpayer has a problem with an employee of the town, it stops here, folks. This is what we're here for. That's our job. And it really shows, you know, the I don't even know the word. It just angers me that the employees are getting badmouthed without anything to back at all. And it shouldn't be that way, folks. It really shouldn't. If there's a problem, bring it to us. I got no problems addressing any problems. I really don't. But if you don't afford us the opportunity, then don't complain.
Then I'm standing here.
Okay, we have department heads this evening. Well, actually, before I get to department head, does anybody have anything to say about what I just addressed? I'll open it for the public comment. Yes, ma'am.
I would just suggest that maybe you write that up and put it on the Brownfield, not the town page, on the other page, the one that gets all the magic marks. Maybe that would help. Maybe the people that are making those things are just they can't. I don't know. I can't imagine why the truth. But it might help if you address that publicly or on the town page.
How much he just spoke.
But who's here? People that are here are not people
Well,
that
see,
are
that's the problem, communication.
It's Judy.
Like this.
Anyway, that's.
Thank you, man.
Hi.
All the way in the back.
Hi, Joe Egan. I agree with you 100%. The employees in this town are fantastic. They deserve a lot of credit, and it's a pleasure coming into this building. The folks down at the transfer station, Department of Public Works, are always really nice to deal with. Always do an excellent job.
During my response, my report, I will be referencing several of the areas that you just discussed.
Deb, you had your hand up?
Yep, but I'm all set.
Okay.
I've said my piece on the waste.
Okay, so we have department heads. Just drink.
So, just a reminder that the special town meeting is on Thursday at 6 p.m. So, the special town meeting is at Thursday at 6 p.m. Minutes for the June 11th annual town meeting have been posted online, and we've already started the paperwork for the November one.
Tax collectors on vacation. ACO, what you got?
Well, me and Connie went out to shop and they had to pay their fee. Was it license? So, go get a license here before they can go get it out of doggy jail.
Perfect.
And we've had 3 cows loose on Main Street, else at 2 a.m. and caught it.
They moved. They is it the ones down here on the left?
No burglar
Oh, really?
across the river.
Wow. How do you get it?
They got a bridge. They learned how to walk a bridge.
Usually they can come over. You know.
That's cross that bridge with the family.
Well, so we had some barking dogs complaint. I had some frog complaints. They'd like the frogs to be shut up. Frogs. No, they invented dogs back with frogs. Yeah, I'm serious.
I got a really loud zipper bell. You would like to come over and take care of that.
Someone has a different version of the morning dog. I can't. Welcome, check on the pit and little stuff.
A welfare check on the scheme.
Yeah.
Okay, good enough.
It's crossing with you.
I'll put that on my agenda too. Give them- that's what I try.
Fire chief.
Well, we get one tree on wires, 4 motor vehicle accidents, 3 mutual aid, 2 to Denmark, 1 to Keeper Falls, 16 medical calls. We've had a busy couple weeks. I have. I'll be reapplying for our SHAPE program. It's due in October. I just got the paperwork, so I'm putting that out. I've been working pretty regularly on that, so I can get it again for another 3 years. We'll be training in Denmark Saturday on vehicle electrification fires in Denmark. You see the new use manned vehicle is in service. I'll talk to you at the meeting about it. Okay. And I came in to talk to Lynn, I gave her a paper on the grant. Got her down as the treasurer, handling all the billing, all the stuff coming in. They need an authorized agent to sign for the grant, but the guys would like to have. And you can cut that in for that. I've got Lynn down as the treasurer, to handle all the finances. This needs authorized agent for the grant.
On everybody, she's lost. Yeah, like, well, probably have to ask her, where is that?
What's that?
The agent signing? Do you
Oh, I
have?
just sent them, I sent that to them, to my contacts up there.
Yeah.
I sent him Lynn's information, I sent whatever the hell I'm thinking, then it goes to me, that's who we contacted. Okay, so I just need a name.
Don't mind that.
Okay. I will do that, thank you, sir. And I use your, copy of Patrick, email or your
The Brownfield.
Brownfield name.
Yep.
Want you share cell phone or what that? So I come here.
Cell phone.
All right, I'll get that done. Thank you.
Health officer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple of areas that I'd like to touch on. First one is a few moments I'm going to spend talking about a recent inspection that we had here. It's an inspection, ergonomics related. In other words, it's for clerical folks, the administrative folks, their work areas, any issues, problems that may arise, equipment-wise, blah. So, in response to your request, Allison Smith conducted an ergonomic assessment and training visit at your facility. Here comes the sentence that when we get the electric sign out there, I'm going to put it out there and flash it at midnight for about 3 weeks. Congratulations on having no hazards found during the visit to your workplace. 5 hours. I want to take a moment to show you these. These are individual sheets that the inspector was utilizing. Each of the people present that day went through 4 sheets with this woman as she checked off things. Michelle Day has 4 pages perfect. This young lady here has 4 pages perfect. Lynn Boyle has 4 pages perfect. The inspector even went across the hall, started tearing up someone else's workplace, trying to find something, and she wound up with a new chair out of it. No issue. And in this particular type of inspection, I've called around, I've talked to a bunch of people, I've been doing this for a while, and usually they get you on something like that cord that's laying on the floor or something. 12 pages of yes, 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 and more yes. Not a single no. 12 pages. I'm going to say without equivocation, I'm standing there holding the proof in my hand. The town of Brownfield has got a damn good bunch of employees all the way around. So whoever the clowns are that say that's not the case, I've got some things they can look over. Okay. There were some suggestions made for clerk, perhaps using a headset rather than just answering phone or things like that. But no big things. There were no hazards found, etc. One thing they did reference that I would like to discuss briefly with you guys is this OSHA 300 and 301 or whatever kind of tracks. If anybody's heard on the job or whatever. We looked the other day, and we could only find last year's. So the detective went to work and has found others going back to 2017. So we're supposed to discuss these, or at least you folks, the leadership in the town is supposed to be made aware of what they indicate. So I could offer the suggestion. We're having a safety committee meeting in perhaps a week or two. We've got them all now. If Patty and I could take 10 minutes and kind of put them together and make some sense of the order and discuss it with the safety committee. I don't think there's any big deal there. Nobody fell down, broke the leg or anything. But I'd like to bring it then to your attention that we've gone through all of these forms and that they're fine. And I would suggest that that be done on a yearly basis, so we don't have to look at 15 at once, but just the one for the Friday meeting. That's okay.
Excellent. I'm 100% for it, Bill, especially where the new fiscal year starts next week. So if we do it at the beginning of each fiscal year, we're good. We can roll it right into the appointment papers and all that.
Okay. So if any of you would care to see any of these assessment sheets from the employees got from the inspector, you're welcome to take a peek at it, but it was very well done, and I want to thank the clerical people who make this place go so well. Thank you. Yeah. They're going to go into a book in her office. They will be there for anyone who wants to.
Code enforcement.
Sorry, who was the last person up?
Oh, that was a code enforcement. The health.
I didn't notice it because I didn't see a badge. Identify yourself.
I've been playing this all day. This was supposed to be here. I was going to be sitting here. And this young lady was going to be sitting next to me like she always does. And when I stood up, I was going to take these out and I was going to say to her, would you hold this phone, please? And if she hesitated one moment, I said, I have a bad.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. So, I've been working on short-term rental notifications in the town. So it was brought up during town meeting that we hadn't addressed that yet. The deadline was April 1st, it was April 2nd to have if you have a short-term rental, to come in and register it with the town with me. And then we document that and see how we have. So, with that being said, only one applicant has come forward on their own. So Michelle was helpful. She does cleanings and such, so she has an account to Airbnb and some other Visros and other. So she was able to find 17 people in town, and I'm sure there's more. But to start, I sent out 17 notices today. I gave them a small grace period. Said, look, 60 days. You need to come into compliance, and then from there, if not, we'll start paying the fines to go with it. So as of right now, that's what I worked on today, and we got those.
Perfect. Thanks. Yeah. Public Works.
Just a quick question for Mike. So Mike, to be in compliance, people just have to apply, just register?
Yep. To register their Airbnb with the town.
Has anyone done that yet?
One person.
Wow.
What you got, Cliff?
Buddy and I would like to, thank, Ryan, down guy. Great job. Buddy's been working on the backup and the transfer station. For boom still in the seal today, changed 2 weeks ago. Doing a service on it. Putting a cutting edge on the bucket. We set the dog at the beach. Put ladders on the dog. There's some trim work, tree work down there. That's both of it. Both ways. We got the 2011 international files that we can right now for the weekend. That's the particular all every weekend. I got the full hill sign, Carolina sign put up. First Big Street back up. That's gone. Indian Trail. One stop sign and caution following ice and snow or kind of order. I'm gonna meet the striking guys Thursday, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, we're taking the hole for the town office sign.
In regards to that, when you pull the old sign, pull it gently.
And the city advance for the transfer station should be estimated ship date is 7/25.
Good. Look, is that the company out of New York? Where we got it from?
Waste quick.
Yeah, that's where we got the other, yeah, okay.
Oh, we very good. Done. Yeah. Great.
Brett?
Quick update. We have T-ball rookies, minors, and majors teams are done for the season. The Friends of Rick held a pizza party for the teams. The majors softball team and majors baseball team combined with Software Valley to make all-star teams that are competing in regional tournaments right now. With that being said, special coaching certificates, youth sexual harassment training, personal training has to be done for Little League, Cal Ripken, and Babe Ruth for coaches to be sanctioned.
I got a question where we joined Sockby Valley, that was Brownfield, Denmark. We joined Sockby Valley so that we would have all-star teams. Is there gonna be yearly fees on that?
So, yeah, the softball team, our Brownfield's major call that we joined the Sockby major softball team to compete in district tournaments so they can compete against bigger schools like Portland, Westbrook, Falmouth.
Well, I remember we did that with Denmark, and it was a big to-do where we owed monies and all that. So I just want to make sure we're good to go with that.
Yes, all the fees are basically sanctioned by Little League, California.
All right. Yep.
But there is like additional training now. Anyone that's coaching and even background checks, even if you have background checks, they have to be done through their system now.
And that there, folks, is why there was an increase in the rec budget, because doing these sports programs with the changes that are happening in the ref and the training, it's becoming mandatory when it didn't used to be that way. So that's why you're seeing $2,000 and $3,000 increases, so that we can cover all the sports programs that Brownfield, Denmark, combined we do. So
yeah, not to mention that part of that increase is the insurances. Every year that we get these teams for these tournaments and leagues, the insurance prices continue to climb. So we've got teams playing all-stars now. Babe Ruth continues to play. I believe if they get all their games in, they'll start playoffs at the end of next week. Our team's having a pretty good season, so we'll probably have home field advantage. Right now, I think they're 8-2. So we have to get a pretty good team going up there for Babe Ruth. Swim lesson will start Monday. The sign-ups ended today. That'll be Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. We'll organize classes the rest of this week and start next week.
how many we got signed up so far?
About 35.
It's about half normal, huh?
Yeah, we're down in numbers a little bit this year on the swim program. Usually there's about 45 to 50 for the swim. But usually we close it and then the next day or two you get a bunch of people that come scurrying in. So we probably won't shut anybody out, but it is pretty important that you sign up ahead of time because you try to get the classes all lined up evenly. We have a Friends of Rec meeting tomorrow night, 6:30 at the Brownfield Community Center, in the community room. It's open to the public. Among other things, Brownfield Days will be on the agenda. We've got the couch hit bingo board in the office here. We will be getting the Venmo up online as well, so people can purchase wares for Brownfield Day. Community paint night this Friday has been postponed. Our teacher had to postpone on this, so a new date will be announced. Couple thank yous. I want to thank Cliff for bringing his own boat down and helping us get the dock resecured, and Lily and Tilson for weeding the garden out at the signpost out here.
Yes, thank you both very much. School board member. Oh, Terry.
I will mention that many of you attended the school budget meeting and knew that, or you know now that the budget was increased by $450,000. Fortunately, but what that means is that all goes back into regular instruction. So a few new teachers will be hired so that there will be no multi-age classrooms at Denmark and Maliocket. ELA and social studies will have separate classes instead of joined as a humanities class, and there will be more ed techs hired. So they're the major ways that $450,000 will be spent. So questions, thoughts, or comments?
They gonna do anything with VOTEC?
That's actually a topic we want to start working because there's been a lot of interest and we really want to see what.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
After reading the way the warrant is worded per article by the school board, what sum will, whatever. I'm under my understanding is the school board itself can make the change to where it is raise and appropriate a number, and it's either lower or that's it.
Right.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
Is the school board considering that? Is it
Yes.
talked about?
Yes.
Is it majority vote?
So it's been, they have been written as open warrant articles, which means you can vote them up or down. Closed articles where we have ours written, the town has theirs written. So we are thinking toward moving toward that, so we don't need to happen again where the budget, it's unusual for the budget to increase, but that's a significant increase. So the school board is going to look at writing them as closed articles rather than open.
So is it majority vote of the school board whether that happens or not?
Yes.
What is the petition? How would a petition work for the school district to get the school board to act upon?
I don't think we need a petition. I have brought it up to the superintendent. He said he would like to get closed articles, so we'll continue that conversation with our finance committee. We're kind of reorganizing with the new people coming on board.
Right.
So if there's any pushback or getting changed, I'll let you know if I need to get more support for that.
I have a question on this
Yeah.
project.
She's the one.
Okay, school board meeting, we talked about enrollment on Thursday, Brownfield School. What is the enrollment on there?
It's around 78 right now, maybe a few additional.
That talked about that, close that school, move kids, driver, save money.
That question has come up over the years, whether that should happen with both Brownfield, Denmark, and New Suncook, because of very low enrollment. But that's not something where the school board would decide to do that. That's something where it go to the state, it would be, a case made with the state would weigh in, but none of that would happen without a lot of conversations with the towns involved. But right now, people want to keep it, they like this nice small school, but the small school comes at a fairly large price.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah. Tony?
At the school board meeting, when it was brought up to raise the extra $450,000, Mr. Manning spoke about the importance of creating the positions and continuing to have individuals teaching certain classes. And the vote was passed through. However, after that was passed through, the school sent surveys out to everybody asking how they'd like to see the money spent. So I'm a bit confused on why they're sending out a survey to people asking how they want the money spent when it was kind of told to everybody how it was going to be spent. My understanding is the administration can kind of spend that money how they'd like to.
So not really. So it has to go toward regular instruction, which means to hire teachers and ed techs. That's the category.
Okay.
So that though is a pretty open question because teachers could mean we hire more teachers so that we don't have any multi-age classrooms, or do we hire more teachers so we have separate ALA social studies classes? Do we hire more ed techs? So all of those are things that were brought up in conversation, but then the school board has to decide all these options. What does the public want?
Right. So when that happens, will the public get an answer on how that money was spent and appropriated?
So that
Who was hired? where they were hired, how that money was spent.
So a communication has gone out saying, here's how that was resolved. It is probably on, the communication channel with parents. Infinite Campus. They're posted on the website. I can get you a copy. I'll put a copy of it in the newsletter that you have it, and we can put it on the town webpage as well to say exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I know that, I just know that some people were a bit confused on why they were getting a survey when it was kind of spelled out for us at the meeting, how the money was going to be spent, and then you sent the survey out to everybody asking how you want the money spent.
Well, no, so the only decision that was made at the meeting was that it go for regular instruction. That's what it is. So that means you can't take it and put it toward healthcare.
Right.
It has to be for regular instruction.
Understood.
But specifically what that means has to be worked out with the administrators, with the schools. And we have some classes at Brownfield and Denmark that have very good students. So a bunch of things have to be looked at to see how best to address the concerns of the public for the use of that money. It is turning out to be what people ask for, what the majority of people ask for, were discussed at the budget meeting. That's how it was all. The only question mark right now is once people are hired, we have to see what their salaries and healthcare, all that stuff is. And let's see how much money is left over to see how many ed vets could be hired. It depends on the salaries.
Okay, thank you.
So that's why a survey went out together to find out what the people in the district felt were their priorities. You know, so of those like 3 or 4 things, what do the majority of people want? And it's pretty much played out the way it's discussed.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I'll put that stuff though in the newsletter on the website. All right.
Community resilience and the CEB.
Most of the members of the committee are here tonight. And we wanted to talk to the select board, of course, everybody who's here. But before I get into that, though, I didn't want to shortchange anybody last time. You know, like our animal control officer, Cindy, our health star, Bill Flynn, Willie, our rec director, Mike, construction code official, Dickie, and all firefighters, fire department. I think we're lucky to have them all. So I didn't want to shortchange my audience. So with CEBD, we're at a stage right now where folks up in Norway are putting together an estimate. And one of the things we talked about was a vulnerability assessment as far as culverts throughout the town, you know, that might need some engineering. And they got back to us and said that just to do that would be about $30,000. And this grant is for $75,000 with no obligation from the town for a percentage. We kind of thought that was high, you know, like just to engineer some culverts. We've got talented people in this town that, you know, like could get together, probably find out what the problem spots are, and probably come up with a solution. So 30,000 out of 75,000 is a lot to put towards that. And we're still going to ask them to like put that in the estimate. They'll have a number of things in there, and probably exceed the 75,000. But we communicated amongst ourselves, and we thought that it would probably be a better approach if instead of just looking at a heat pump or a split system for this room, we looked at it for the entire building. So you didn't have to have window air conditioners. All the whole space would be taken care of. And so we're going to ask them for that, unless there's an objection from the select board not to do that. But then there was a couple other things, because again, 75,000, we feel that we can stretch that to do some good. The other area was the community center. for the gym. When we have meetings there that, like we've got some fresh air in there or cooler air or whatever the case may be. Then we thought, well, like, why don't we try to do the office, the bathrooms, the corridors, and the kitchen? I see what that price is. It might fall in with that 75, percent. It would make it a lot, a much nicer area for people to do things. The other part was asking them about solar panels on this building. If we have the money to do it, the select board feels that it's worthwhile to pursue, we can do that. But at this stage, we can at least ask them to give us an estimate. We can look at that and kind of create a shopping list so that we can see what we'd like to apply for and use that $75,000. I think that was it.
Two things in municipal resolution should be put up.
But for right now, just as far as what we want to get estimates on, that's where we're kind of going.
I'm good with it. Good. Good. Brian, you good?
Okay, so we'll continue on that path, and then there's a couple other things that have to be addressed. The resolution.
So probably the first or second week of July, for this grant application, one that they require that the select board does a municipal resolution, which just signs it.
We did that with the enterprise,
Correct.
right? Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So that, and I also just wanted to mention, when the CE people came and met with the town, we had to do this self-assessment, which was really extensive. It was like 20-page Excel file with questions about what the town is doing. And they conducted self-assessment. It wasn't just us saying, yeah, we do all this. But I have to say, between Dickie Perot, Bill Flynn, Cliff, there were so many things that they could check off. Yes, the town has done this. Yes, the town is doing it. They even made a comment that it was highly unusual to have a town that can't serve yes. They have all these plans and things in place where these things had already been completed. They were very impressed with Brownfield. So once again, I think, this group is really doing an amazing job of getting the work done that needs to be done, and they deserve a lot of credit. Because it's recognized by outside people as well as just us.
So that we're moving forward with everything with the CEP. We're on schedule with that. We just have to get back to them tomorrow to let them know that we're kind of changing, like our thinking as far as where the money is. So we'll let them know that, and then the folks up there can take care of that. There's a couple other things. It was mentioned that Cliff got in touch with Brendan from Sign, and Brendan responded. Cliff will dig tomorrow. They'll put them tomorrow, and the next day Brendan Murphy will come back and he'll build 2 piers. And after those 2 piers are built, we'll wait about a week, and then Andy Buck will come with the frame, install the frame. Cliff's going to help him with that, and there'll be a few other people there to help Andy get that in place. One of the things that we're going to try to do is we found some leftover green slate, so we're going to make sure we're going to see if there's enough slate available to put the roof on with that. I think it'll look pretty nice. And then Wick's working with the electrician to get him in there, and then with Neocraft, manufacturer of the sign, we have him penciled in for the 8th. And we told him that if everything falls into place, we'll be ready on the 8th. So he said that he only needs a couple of days' notice, and then they'll fit us in there. So probably within like a week from the 8th, 7 days on, they'll fit us in, to get the sign up and running. And we'll make sure that they also talk to all the ladies in the office. And then there'll be some questions as far as what goes up there. I'm sure you guys will work that out with that. How long will be on? Want to turn it off at night? And then have a set time to turn it on. So that's where we are with the sign. So on the second or third, next Tuesday, next Wednesday or Thursday, the frame should be up. The next thing I wanted to mention was the automatic door operators. Michelle's gotten a price for $10,000, and that included brand new aluminum doors, frame, and an installation there with automatic doors. I think it's a biparty, or it's a sliding door. And that seemed like a lot. So we went back to there's 3 companies we went to. We went to Door Controls, Door Services, Asa Abloy. Asa Abloy kind of sounds like a made-up name, but they're probably the biggest hardware contractor in the world. So we got 3 prices for just an operator, and they ranged from $3,600 to over $5,000. And they have the sensor controls on them and so forth and so on. So when I talked with them, I told them we're obviously going to replace those 2 doors out there, so we need to get a price on that. And I know that somebody was talking to a contractor about the cost to do that, to modify the doors. And what we're thinking about, of course, with the select board's approval, is not to have 2 equal doors, but to have one door bigger, the operable one, and then another that'll be inactive. And that'll give a little bit more room for people to get in, or gives a little bit more room for handicap. For instance, if you had a door, a 4-foot door and a 2-foot door, or a 3.5-foot door and a 2.5-foot door, gives a little bit more room. And with just the one operator, one door would be operating all the time instead of both doors. You don't need both doors to get in and out. And it does take some time for them to close. So in cold weather, you got the cold air coming in. So anyway, that's where we are now. We're going to put together the pricing for that, and we'll show you an analysis of that. And hopefully, we'll have it by next Tuesday to make a decision. So that's it.
Thank you. Brendan Murphy's going to do concrete footing.
Yeah.
How much is that going to cost?
The last time I spoke to him, he said he was going to do it for free, and I told him we want him to give us a price. So it's not. If he does, I know it's not going to exceed the budget amount that we have.
So the budget amount's $32,206.
We had a $4,000 contingency.
The contingency though was for the manufacturer's product. Well, that's what we heard originally.
No, not from me. Then.
Not from you. I'm not saying I heard it from you, but that's what was discussed.
No, $4,000 was a contingency for the project, Benny. So if there were any unexpected costs, which let's just say, the boots, for instance, that the frame is going to sit on, that was a cost that we didn't anticipate, but Andy Buck suggested it. We thought it was a good idea, and we did that. So we reduced that $4,000.
Yeah, but concrete footing originally was going to be done by the Department of Public Works, and went up to 0. Right. So that's why I was wondering what the amount is. The contingency was just, from what I understood last time, what was all discussed on the sign, was if the manufacturer's costs go up 10%, because everything goes up 10%. But there's also the split housing contingency on the estimate if the contract sign people get everything. That was 36,086, something like that. So I mean, there was 4,000 contingency in there with them doing the work for the footing of it.
It's been a while since I looked at that, but I just have to go back and correct you. It wasn't the manufacturer's increases; it was a construction contingency. That's what the $4,000 was for. So anything that happened in the project, because remember, we're not perfect, the sign committee. So there could be things that we didn't think of, and a couple little things popped up, like the boots, for instance. And if Brendan's going to stick to not doing it for anything, that's one thing. But like we told him that we feel that he should charge us for something.
So you feel you'll stay within the 32,206?
I do. Yep.
All right.
Joe, just one seeking grant. Isn't August kind of our target date for decisions. Background.
And they have to get back to us with that. So tomorrow is the day that we want to go in, and just tell them, hey, the camera, tell her that, like, here's what we're looking at now. And she can still keep that 30,000 in there, but we'll see how it shakes out as far as the building.
But I mean, just the whole process, we're looking at audits, what's on the target, the information, submit.
Correct. Yep. That's my understanding. So, but check with our troops. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Certificate of appointment. It's Panamera.
Yes. So it's yes, I get to say some good about myself as I sign the paper. So
This is for the truck purchasing. Christina Rihanna, said that right?
now that's going to make 8 members, right? Which
Jan, Yep. Which one?
so we need an odd number of members.
Right.
So it should be an alternate, then we would have our.
No, find somebody else. Get somebody else.
No, the board originally set up 11. We had 7 committed.
7 to 11.
7 to 11, so the 8 can stay, we just gotta find somebody else to come. We need to, yes.
Well, the only other thing is.
Okay, let's add to it.
The only other thing is this seven is easy to work with. Most committees in the town are 7, except the planning board's 11, because there's 3 selectmen and the treasurer's on there. But most committees are 5 to 7. It just seems like 7's a easier number to work with, to be honest with you. But if you want to go 9.
But just said you do it, so that puts us at 9, we can hold it at 9. That keeps us on. Yes. Been out for a long time here.
And just to mention on the truck, there isn't a 3-year wait. I called 3 truck dealers today, and the minimum wait is 8 to 9 months from the time you order it to the time you receive it.
How many?
8 to 9 months.
Playground committee. You should have some bids for us.
Playground committee has got the stuff the select board requested. We got 5 different bids here for you guys to review. Also, we've got some new bids on playground equipment that we will go over at our next meeting. Michelle and I just got some new ones today, and they give us multiple options, which really looks nice. Instead of having just a particular playground, these ones they're Amish made. So we're looking at a pirate ship, we're looking at a barn with a silo, we're looking at a 4-wheel drive truck. These four things can all be put in at the budget that we got, and we still have money to work with to get some ADA compliance rise in and still do the fencing that we need to do. So these are really nice looking playgrounds.
Include drives,
What?
All of them are. They're all on.
Fried donuts?
Purchase.
Oh, fried donuts?
Oh, yeah,
No.
purchase.
No, so you just.
No,
these are all
just
on
get
there.
rid Okay, so we got 5 offers for the removal of the wooden, removal of the proposed wooden playground.
Do you want what the committee wanted first?
Well, I have to read it.
Okay.
So I'll go first. Dump guy, remove the entire playground except for the wooden car. The price is assuming we can dump at the Brownfield transfer station at no charge to us. We can have this completed within 2 weeks of approval. Quote for us to haul to our transfer station, we cover disposal fees. $37.50, $52.50, total of $9,000. Right. Next one is Rouse Maintenance and Improvement. Quote for removal of wooden playground located at Brownfield Town Office. Rouse Maintenance and Improvement will pay for disposal of all items removed. None of the items listed under items to be removed will be left on site. Rouse Maintenance will arrange for roll-off dumpsters to be placed on site during a project. Any holes from the post removal will be refilled with 3/4 gravel supplied by Rouse Maintenance. Gravel will be compacted manually. Some settling may occur. Time frame. Receive a signed copy of this quote. Work shall begin within 30 calendar days and it'll be completed within 14 calendar days after beginning. Total $67.83. Got AZ Works and Sons. It just says playground removal for $3,800. Doesn't give us that. That's all it says. Playground removal $3,800. Okay, so thanks. This was sent in as a email. 6,500 completely remove the playground from property and dispose of all debris. This bid also includes purchase of paint for the community center. Will be completed within 5 business days. We start first week. Last one is CIA salvage. $4,000, 3-day time frame. All demo will be loaded in town-owned cans. Town will pay for cost of disposal directly to waste facility, hauling demo cans to Brownfield transfer station. All over this one. Yeah. All right.
Committee with the best detail of what would be done is the one for $6,700 and some dollars. I believe that's the Mennonites.
$67.83.
Right. They gave the most detail on what they were going to do to take place versus some of the other ones. They weren't real. They said they remove it, but they didn't say they were going to fill in the holes. Where the holes were going to be left. The Mennonites gave the best description on what would take place.
9,000. That's zero right? What's do you guys agree with that? Yeah, I think. So there's CIA 65.
No, that makes sense.
Rouse Maintenance. Yeah. Justin Myers in CIA. Right. Right.
Now we do everything.
So everything.
If you could cut,
They're getting home.
so you have to get some.
I don't just because that's business. Not that I ever. No. But that was fine contract. Done that. They have. No problem with that.
No. I mean, I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, this is been away again. They did good work. Or kids working in school or church. They'd be already gone.
Could you just announce the three that are left and where the companies are from? Are there any in town or are they all out of
One
town?
is CIA, one is Rouse Maintenance in Brownfield, and the other is a resident, just an individual. Yep. Brownfield.
Just curious.
Yep.
CIA.
CIA down on Route 5. Junkyard.
The hauler.
They do trash. They do junk cars. They do a bunch of stuff.
No, they're from Limerick.
Limerick.
This is Jeffrey Toll. I know the town is talking about cleaning up the tax foreclosure properties. I was just curious why they're not.
Say that again?
There was previously discussed that you guys are gonna get dumpsters and there was gonna be a cleanup at the foreclosed property due to tax.
Okay, let's wait on that.
Well, no, it's dumpster cleanup. I'm just curious why the town wouldn't clean this stuff.
Okay. We went out with bids. There was a discussion, as you stated, about dumpsters and cleaning up town acquired property. That was just a discussion, no decision's been made. And as of yesterday, I hadn't heard from the town's attorney.
Okay, I thought there might be question there, but I was just curious why we wouldn't have discussed, or maybe we did, and I wasn't at the selectmen's meeting on the night where you did discuss it. As far as the town going over there, putting it in our dumpsters, and having it all the way versus it going out to bid.
Okay, well, going up to bid, we don't have to take a week of public works away and also the tipping and hauling fees for that. So it's in the price range that we're seeing, it's gonna be cheaper for us to go with the bid and not be responsible insurance-wise for that to happen. Because the companies will come in and have their own liability. Okay, so. Well, inside of my, I will make a motion to accept grounds maintenance and improvement 6783. Second. Discussion.
No, I think they're
Going up. That's why I'm leaning. I agree with the committee's recommendation. Very detailed. And they're bringing their own off. They're hauling it off. They're bringing in the gravel. They're compacting. This is a one and done.
They're gonna just buy it 2 weeks.
Right. Right. No further discussion. All in favor? Thank you. Please reach out. Actually, Mr. Kennedy, if you would.
Thanks, John.
Sign today. Reach out. So everybody knows. Once we make contact with Rouse Maintenance and the date is set, it'll go on the website and social media for when that's coming there. Okay. Okay, upcoming events, special town meeting, 6 p.m. this Thursday at the community center. Select board workshop, ACO job description and related duties, 11 a.m. next Tuesday, the 1st. Health and safety committee meeting, 4:30. same day, Tuesday. Select board meeting at 5:30 and planning board meeting at 7 p.m. Wednesday, truck purchase committee at 5:30. Thursday, public safety building committee meeting at 5. Okay. Yep, folks, everybody knows, Thursday, the, office will be closed for, preparation of the special town meeting.
Community, I think it's started. Why not? I mean, decisions on.
I thought the paint was supposed to be coming along. We had to wait until that front, overhead got put on. So, Willie, if you could, reach out to Jake's about the painting, ask him about that. Yeah. Actually, no, never mind. Jake's painting, he was awarded last year.
It's too bad they don't vinyl those state cable bands. They won't last and become a tape. The vinyl doesn't balance. Yes,
no, it's not. We had to wait for the additional overhang for the handicap ramp to be finalized and done so that he can come in to do one shot. Bill.
That's the Brownfield days. Have we invited Eco Maine?
I don't know. That'd be a rec director thing.
Eco Maine?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're invited. Every year.
Well, I'm spent.
Floor is open. Anybody got anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to let people know, that the truck committee, the people on the truck committee keep coming to sign the paperwork with the office. And our first meeting is gonna be July 2nd at 5:30 here. Also, our next playground meeting, yeah. Gonna be on July 7th here at 5:30. We will be going over all the playgrounds that we collected. So if anybody wants to read in or whatever, welcome to public opinion.
Anybody else?
Yeah, for tonight.
Okay. Thank you much for the chart.
Did you do your folder, sir?
Hold on.
Oh.
Jeez.
Man. Folks, I want to end this meeting with this statement from me, speaking for my colleagues. The employees of this town, we got a slamming good team, folks. We have really got a slamming good team. And there are a lot of things that get done that taxpayers have no earthly idea about. You know, I can't speak highly enough about the employees and the elected officials that we have now. Things have exponentially changed. And I really mean that. That they need the recognition. Us three fat guys up here, yep. It's not us. It's the employees that have made all of this happen in a short amount of time. All the audits are good to go. Just a huge number of things that have happened in the past year. It's not us. It's them. So please keep that in mind.
Said one thing about the please, if you're sick, please don't come in the office. Town office had to close once this year during flu season or whatever, so, yeah, people would say, please don't come in the office.
Somebody.
Intimidate the employees. I got, well, no, I mean, but even if nobody got sick from that, I mean, you know, they're exposed to everybody to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wait. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.